Just close your eyes. Know the peace within.
Dear GM, you are ever present here. In this sentence, does the word here mean in this universe? Kindly clarify.
You are ever present here means your consciousness is ever in the non-dual eternal state prior to duality. Here means your original eternal state, not the perceived duality state. My whole teaching is addressed exclusively to the consciousness within you, which remains ignorant about its unborn eternity and gets trapped by the perceived unreal duality unknowingly. Your consciousness is infinite just now. It is yet to know its infinite richness. Your consciousness is ever present. It is yet to know this secret that it is ever present. Your consciousness is unborn. It is yet to know that it is prior to the birth of the form. Your consciousness is beginningless. It accepts that it has a beginning with the waking state perceived. Your consciousness is deathless. It is yet to know that it is prior to the disappearance of the form. Your consciousness is endless. It accepts the end of the waking state to be itself. Your consciousness is eternal. It accepts the birth and disappearance of the form to be itself by not knowing its endless eternity prior to duality. I say to your consciousness that you are eternally here. You are asking the meaning of here. You are always in the absolute eternal nectar state. Your consciousness still accepts the perceived space to be real and all that appear and disappear in space to be real. Because your consciousness is accepting the manifested form to be itself. By accepting the form to be itself, your consciousness accepts here means within space. Your consciousness is still sleeping at the form level in space. Your consciousness is still sleeping at the duality level in space. Your consciousness is still sleeping at the identifications level in space. Your consciousness is still sleeping at the manifested dream level in space. Your consciousness is yet to wake up consciously to know that it is already prior to the dreamy duality in space. Your consciousness is yet to wake up consciously to know that it is always prior to the dreamy duality in space. Your consciousness is yet to wake up to realize that it is already in the unmoving non-dual source prior to duality in space. Your consciousness is yet to wake up to know that it is never born and ever present in the non-dual eternal source. Your consciousness is yet to wake up to know that it cannot die, as it is never born and ever in the non-dual eternal source. Awareness is the source of consciousness. Your consciousness is already in the source of awareness. Awareness is non-dual. Awareness prevails eternally, endlessly, prior to space. Your consciousness is non-dual. Your consciousness is infinitely in the non-dual source of awareness. Your consciousness knows the secret about its non-dual richness only when it wakes up totally in stillness. Your consciousness knows the stillness only when it is conscious of itself inwardly. Stillness is unmoving, unchanging, and ever present. Stillness is prior to space. Your consciousness, which is trapped by the movements of the duality show, starts knowing the unmoving richness of itself only when it stabilizes inwardly without words. Your consciousness knows only the time-bound duality show in space. Your consciousness is timelessness prior to duality in space. Your consciousness knows only the movements of the objects in space. Your consciousness is already prior to all objects in space. Your consciousness is yet to know the unmoving reality about itself prior to space. Your consciousness is yet to know the unchanging reality about itself prior to space. I say to your consciousness that you are already in the unmoving non-dual source prior to space level duality. Non-dual means neither movements nor any objects, neither appearances nor disappearances. Non-dual is prior to space. Your consciousness is already in the non-dual source. I tell your consciousness that you are ever present here. Here means in the non-dual, eternal, unborn source. Just now you are that. Always you are that. Already you are that. You are ever here. You are endlessly ever here. You are eternally ever here. You prevail ever in the ultimate non-dual source. At least now, wake up consciously by settling in the unmoving stillness prior to duality and know that you are ever present here. Beyond space, beyond time, beyond manifested duality, beyond birth and death, beyond dreamy manifestations. No, you are ever here in the ultimate infinite richness, the absolute wholeness. Here means your original eternal state, not the perceived duality state.